morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mrs. Ding, and I will be your moderator for this webinar on classroom behavior management in preschools. A very warm welcome to all of you. This morning, actually, we have on registration is 196 participants. And it's so good to see so many people joining this webinar. But it is more like so wonderful to know that people want to learn more about the behavioral management in the classroom. It is so good to see you all from all over the country. I see my friend Benjin on. I can see her entering it. I can see a lot of Cebu teachers. And I don't need the Rotan to get them to register. When they heard Datin Indranee's name, they all start to register. And this webinar is organized by TCF Malaysia. TCF is Teachers Christian Fellowship Malaysia. It is a 61-year-old organization that has helped and inspired countless teachers over the years to remain true to their calling as teachers. Through its newsletters, conferences, events, and webinars such as this, teachers are equipped and encouraged to run the race with a sense of mission. TCF would like to revive our ministry to preschool teachers all over Malaysia, and this is our first attempt to do so. I hope we will get connected and have more webinars that are useful for us. If you are not a member yet, do sign up. The ordinary membership fee is $20 and the live membership fee is $300. All you need to do is to scan the QR code we have placed in the chat box to access the membership form. Now, I have been joining Persatuan Tadika Malaysia. I'm a live member. I'm a live member of Persatuan Pengasuh Berdaftar. I'm also a live member of MAPIS, which is Malaysian Association of Professional Early Childhood Educators, including ECCE Council. And every time I ask people to join, the first thing they ask me is, what do I gain in joining all this? My answer to them is, you gain the highest honor of serving the children, serving your fellow teachers, serving the community, and serving the country. You are the only profession which can change the world. So come in and join us, okay? So let me give you a brief introduction to our guest speaker today, Datin Indranee, who is no stranger in the world of education. Datin Indranee has 30 years teaching experience in Malaysia and England. It was while she was teaching in England that she developed a passion for training teachers in positive teaching strategies in classroom behavior management. Datin Indranee works with children and adolescents in school settings on different learning skills and emotional regulation. A HRDF certified trainer, Datin Indranee consults to schools on the UK curriculum, the IGCSE, and teacher development. She sits on the Penang Education Council and Wawasan Open University Research Ethics Board. Today, Datin Indranee will discuss classroom behavior management in preschools, a topic that is very relevant to not only young and new teachers, but also to all of us who have been teaching for many years. We teachers have to upgrade and refresh ourselves from time to time. We know very well that unless a teacher is able to manage her students and get them engaged in the lessons, no learning is going to take place. The tips that Datin Indranee will be sharing are also applicable to teachers in the primary and secondary schools. Indy, who is the General Secretary of TCF, told me that there are also non-preschool teachers attending this webinar. Yes, I see lecturers from several universities, the DECE and BECE students, as well as parents. And we welcome all of you, and I trust that we are all in for a great time of much learning together. Datin Indranee, over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Evelyn, for your very kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad that there are so many of us here who would like to learn more about behavior management. Malaysians tend to use loud voices, okay, when they want to discipline children, okay. In fact, actually, if you go and walk around the school, some of the schools, you will discover that shouting is a disciplinary tactic. Okay, and that is not true abroad. Okay, when I was teaching in UK, I found out that if a teacher shouts at students, that teacher will be asked to see the principal and a warning will be given. Why? If a teacher shouts, it means that he or she is not in control, okay, of their emotion. So if you can't have a teacher who's not in control, okay. My husband, Dr. Lai Feng Hua, is a child and adolescent psychiatrist, and actually he has quite a number of cases of children, primary school children, all right, who end up suffering from depression, suffering from anxiety, and also school refusal. School refusal means they don't want to go to school. And we have those who are actually so badly depressed until they're suicidal. Okay, and when my husband checked, okay, their background, either something has happened at home or something has happened in school. Okay, so there was this case not long ago. This boy had this Asperger, that means high level autism, can speak very well, etc. And what happened was that he finished his work early, as usual, especially because it's maths. He's very good at math. And then what he did was he started doing something else. Okay, the teacher told him, stop doing that. Then he said, but I have finished my work. If you have finished your work, put your head down on the table and sleep, he was told. And he did. Then after that, he cannot tahan. Okay, now the teacher got upset with him and shouted at him. Then he got upset with the teacher and he shouted at the teacher. And what happened was the class monitor was asked to go get the disciplinary teacher. Okay, and then the boy, the boy was asked to go to the principal's office and he refused to go. So in the end, you know what happened? The disciplinary teacher and another teacher came and literally dragged him, this primary school, I think standard 5 or standard 6, dragged him to the principal's office. And when he got home, the parents noticed bruises on his legs, his arms. Why? Because they were holding him very tightly. Now, do you think that boy wants to go to school? He's been traumatized. Of course he doesn't want to. Okay, so the thing is, teachers need to be in control of their emotions, okay, in order to be able to manage your children's emotions. Okay, let me share my slides. One minute. Right. Behavior management in preschool, classroom management strategies for young children. Okay, I hope you can see the slides. I'm now moving to the next slide. Okay, what do you see here? Bonsai tree. Why do you think I'm showing a bonsai tree? What if I tell you the bonsai tree represents a student, or the bonsai tree, all right, represents a child. Bonsai trees are famous. They're from Japan and they are famous because of the shapes. Do you know how those shapes, okay, how gardeners, all right, what the gardeners do to obtain this kind of all these shapes? Well, when the tree is very young, they will tie wires around it, okay? And then once the tree, the branch or the trunk has been tied in at a certain angle for a few years, the tree will automatically grow at that angle. So where children are concerned, all right, remember this, the children are bonsai and we as teachers help to shape the child. So, all right, so you need to shape. So that means sometimes you may have to put some wires, okay? So, all right, for example, for mathematics, all right, the children have to learn the times table. So that is one wire that we tie, you see. So everyday practice, okay? So that is the bonsai tree. So remember that. Right, children express themselves through behavior. A lot of children don't have the vocabulary yet to explain how they feel, okay? And that is when you get all sorts of facial expressions. And through their behavior, you can actually figure out what the child is feeling or what the child wants. Okay. Now, remember this, there is actually nothing wrong with the behavior. Yeah, it's just that what they do, okay, when they feel like that is a problem. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the behavior as such. Yeah, for example, if you see children in the kindergarten walking down the stairs, you don't rush over, let me hold your hand. You don't have to, isn't it? Okay, they would have, if they have learned how to climb the stairs, you just may have to tell them, hold the railing, please. All right, so children express themselves through behavior, and we teachers are behavior detectives. We observe. Right, first thing first, what is behavior? We are going to do classroom behavior management. So what is behavior? Let's look at this top left box. Behavior can be seen, behavior can be described, and behavior can be measured. Seen, described, measured. So if you say something like number 1, stop that stupid behavior, okay, can it be seen, described, and measured? What is stupid behavior? What do you mean? Okay, is the child standing on the chair and want to jump off the chair? Is the child snatching a classmate's toy? Yeah, what is stupid behavior? So instead of saying what is that stupid behavior, which is too general, all right, you say all right, sorry, it should be stop jumping. You will say that all right, stop jumping, please. Don't say stupid behavior. Okay, wait 1 minute. Why is hold on. Okay. Right, next. What is you are so rude? Please say thank you. Say please. Okay, because you notice a lot of Malaysian teachers and parents. Okay, why are you so rude? Your mother never teach you. That's why you cannot, right? Okay, now why are you so rude? Your mother never teach you. Okay. Now, does that help the child change his behavior? Why is that so rude? Your mother didn't teach you. Cannot. You know why? You must speak specifically, okay? Tell the child what you want them to do. So instead of, why are you so stupid? Your mother never teach you? Stop jumping, please. Finish. Okay? Why are you so rude? Huh? Okay. Say thank you, please. Right? Why are you so slow? Walk faster, please. So you when your mouth opens, you need to tell the child what to do. Don't go and complain about what the child is not doing. Because if you do that, the child doesn't learn. So there was a situation where I was teaching in, I think it was year 10, that means Form 4 class. And then the door opened. My classroom door opened. Okay, and then one boy, I think about Form 1, Form 2 came in and said, John, okay, Miss Wong wants to see you. And then our friend will turn around and go off. Come here, please. Okay, what is your name? All right. Why is it that you just simply come into my classroom? Huh? You don't respect me, is it? All right, forget it. That's actually me complaining. So before you come into a classroom, knock on the door. Then when the teacher says come in, you come in, and then you give your message to the teacher. You don't tell the student direct. Okay? So now I would like you to go back out, shut the door, then knock on the door, come in when I ask you to come in, and then give me the message. You do that. Yes. Okay. Can I help you? Oh, I see. Thank you very much. John, Miss Wong wants to see you. Now, I had about 30 students in my class. So just say we had 30. Okay. Now, how many students learned, all right, manners, how to come into a classroom? How many students learned it that morning? 30 of my year 10 students and 1 messenger. Okay. Why are you so lazy? What does that mean? Lazy is what? Not doing work, not putting the toys back in the basket. Okay, what is it? So always write the date on the top right corner of the page. Why is your desk so messy? And please put away your color pencils and scissors. Okay, so direct, all right, words, and the words will tell the child what action they are supposed to take. Okay, so these are quite interesting. No running. This is very famous in school. Jangan lari, jangan lari, jangan lari. Okay, so I want to ask you this. What was the last word that the student heard? Jangan lari. So the child heard this. Lari, lari, lari. Run faster. You're telling them the lari one. So, all right, you tell what you want. Walk. Don't say don't run, don't run, don't run. Walk. Walk, please. Walk. Instead of don't throw, we are bored, right? Keep it on the ground or put it on the ground. Put it on your desk. Don't touch him. Don't touch her. Hands to yourself, please. Okay, hands to yourself. No hitting. You don't be naughty, you don't hit. So what is the child here? Hit, hit. So instead, gentle touches. Okay, gentle touches, please. Yeah, Sukhbir put up her hand. Did you want to ask a question? Sukhbir, you've got the hand signal. Perhaps you can ask a question later. Stop yelling! Stop yelling! The child hears yelling, yelling. Cannot. So, quiet voice, please. Use your quiet voices, please. Yep. Are you starting to get it? So when you want to manage children's behavior, you need to give very specific instructions. that will tell them what to do, okay, not what not to do. Now, can you imagine you shout, "You don't talk like me, talk like me like that. You better be respectful, you know." All right, now this is the way to say it. I'll listen to you as soon as your voice is as calm and quiet as mine. Oh, by the way, what's this? The participants, I will be giving you the PowerPoint. Okay? So listen. You don't have to take so many notes. Okay, so I'll listen to you as soon as your voice is as calm and quiet as mine. And you know what else can help? Wow. Okay. Go and get a drink of water. Okay, go and have a drink of water. That usually helps the child to calm. Okay, because they're going to walk over to their desk. Okay, and then they come back. So there is time for them to calm down. I will serve you lunch when you are sitting quietly in your chair. Okay. You may watch TV as soon as you are sitting quietly. Instead of running down, okay? So you stop whining. You better be quiet if you want lunch. Okay? This is, you know what? This is you are upset, okay, and you meluahkan perasaan, and you feel very shocked after that. But actually, it's not helping you to manage the children positively. So I'll serve you lunch when you are sitting quietly in your chair. You better share. You are not getting anything if you keep taking his toys. You can change it to, I will give a special lunch to children who share their toys. It doesn't have to be lunch, it can be what? Okay? Children who share their toys can choose, okay, what cookie they want for tea. Okay, so there may be maybe 3 types, you see? So they get to choose. Now, don't you dare, you come back here now and you show me some respect. Feel free to join our game as soon as you are calm. Fong Fong, your hand is also up. Okay. Now, this is quite very important. These are the principles of behavior. All behavior is learned. The children learn it from somewhere, from what they observe around them in the family, what they observe around them in the kindergarten or school, and also what they see on TV. So I have noticed, and a lot of other people have complained about it, that children and teenagers nowadays don't have manners. Okay. You know what you need to look at? You need to go and watch some of these American cartoons and so-called children's shows. The way they speak, actually, for us is a bit kasar, very what? Okay, very uncivilized. Okay. So they are actually learning from the American TV shows and cartoons. Also, be very careful. This is especially true if you have teenagers. The songs that they listen to, if you listen and you go and look for the lyrics, and you read the lyrics, you'll discover, number one, it can be quite rough. And the next thing is that there's actually a lot of reference to sex, but they don't use sex, they use other words, other euphemisms. Okay. Behavior serves a function. The children behave in a certain way because they want something. Okay. The environment impacts behavior. Okay. Environment here is the classroom. If the school, if it's very noisy because your next door neighbor is doing some renovation, okay, you will discover that the children, okay, are quite restless, okay, and it appears that they're not very obedient and all. Actually, it's because that continuous noise is affecting them. Okay, right. Now, because if you're in preschool, some of your children are quite young, and like I said earlier, they don't have the language, okay, to express themselves. You need to be alert, okay. Many years ago, there was this boy in year 3, okay, and he has autism, but he's actually quite high level. So academically, okay, but he doesn't speak. Okay, he doesn't talk. So this boy joined the school, and for about a month or 2, he was okay. All right, and the teachers put him in the front row, easier for the teachers to see what is happening or to walk over to offer help. Now then, this child's behavior changed. At around 11 something, nearly 12, he would get out of his chair and walk around the room. And whatever the teachers did to try and persuade him to go sit in his chair, he refused. Then about 20 minutes, maximum half an hour later, he will be sitting happily in his chair. It was reported to me. Then I asked, is it, okay, only during that time, 11 something to 12? Yes. Does it happen every day, Monday to Friday? Yes. Doesn't matter what subject or which teacher is there. No, he will just get up. So I had a look, and I didn't know what was happening. Some teachers were saying, got spirit. Okay, hantu there somewhere. Then I invited a special education teacher from Switzerland, Silviana Bonade. She works with the Penang Mental Health Association. We brought her in to run services for special needs children and teenagers. So Sylvian went in to observe. Now Sylvian made sure she was there by about 11. So she sat at the back of the class. No problem, boy is focusing on work. And then, yes, around 11:45, he got up and started walking. Then Sylvian tried to go and talk to him, etc. Tried to give him a motivator. So this is something that, for example, maybe he likes small dinosaurs. Tried to say something like, you go back to the chair, you can play a dinosaur there. So Sylvian was totally puzzled. So what she did was, luckily she did this, she went to the boy's table, looked under the table, wanted to check whether it's something, a nail or something poking him. Then finally she sat in his chair, and immediately she knew why the boy, all right, refused to sit in that chair. I'm going to give you some clues. The boy sits in the front row. His chair is next to the window. Okay, about 2 weeks ago, a new teacher came to work in that school, and she parked her car outside the boy's classroom window. So why do you think the boy refused to sit there at a certain time around 11:15 to 12? It's the windscreen. At that time, the sun, all right, will reflect off the car window right into his eyes. Okay, but the thing is, he didn't know how to explain. So he walked around the class. Okay, so can you imagine if we started scolding the boy, take rotan, everything, okay, the boy cannot communicate. Okay, so be careful. The environment impacts the behavior. Usually students and even us, we are much better if we are in an aircon room compared to when we are outside wet and sweaty. Okay, skills deficits impact behavior. Skill deficit means there's something that the child cannot do, hasn't learned yet. So this boy who was walking around the class at 11:45 had a skills deficit. What's that? Didn't know how to ask. Okay, no use scolding children. Why are you so rude and all that? So their skills deficit is that they don't know how to use the polite, how to speak politely. That's their deficit. So what do you do to overcome this skills deficit that will impact their behavior? You teach them. Okay, you teach them. Don't complain, just teach. Okay, team approach is critical. That means all the teachers, all the subject teachers teaching that student, okay, must know what is happening and what, okay, action is going to be taken, or what intervention is going to be taken. Nowadays, because we have WhatsApp, it's actually quite useful. In the schools that I consult to, I tell the teachers, whenever you have one student in class who appears to be a bit problematic, start a WhatsApp group with the student's name on it. Then every day the teachers will report. And then after a while, you see, okay, this child is okay before morning recess. After morning recess, he cannot sit down. He'll walk around, and then go catch out people and all that. Before recess, okay. After recess, not okay. All right. What I will do is, I will go and check what food he eats. Okay, what food he eats, especially if he is bringing food from home. And don't be surprised, okay, they put in, the parents will go put in jelly or things that are very sweet, chocolate, and so this child becomes hyperactive, okay, after taking all the chocolate and sweets. Okay, so once we know that, okay, one is the teachers must be informed, so they keep an eye on him, especially the teachers say on canteen duty. All right. Next is the class teacher has to speak to the parents not to pack sugar. Yeah. And relationships matter. Think of your favorite teacher in school. Okay. Your favorite teacher in school. You like the teacher, you spoke very nicely to the teacher, and you had a relationship with that teacher. And until now, you can remember. Okay, and guess what? When you have a good relationship with the teacher, what happens to the quality of your work for that teacher? Okay, you put in a lot of effort. A teacher or subject you don't like, right? Okay, these are the 4 functions of behavior. Why children behave in a certain way. One is the child wants access to tangible items. He wants something like what? Maybe toys, chocolate, etc. So you don't want to give. Okay. I must tell you, this happened how many years ago? This must have happened about 14, 15 years ago. At that time, my youngest child was about 3, 4 years older. Okay, so what happened was that we were at the shopping complex, and then, okay, all right, there was a Toys R Us. Okay, my 2 older boys said they would like to go to Toys R Us to look for what do you call that, to go and check the prices, because they're actually saving up some money to buy certain things. I said okay. All right, then when it was time to leave, the youngest, Timothy, 3, 4 years old, started screaming and yelling. The father and I refused to give in. Okay, he sat down screaming and yelling. So what my husband did was, my husband carried him and put him over the shoulder, so his head at the back. He was screaming away. Then those of you who don't know, my husband is visually disabled. He cannot see. So then my husband had one child over the shoulder, screaming child over the shoulder. I was holding his other hand, his other arm. Okay, and then we walked out with my 2 other boys. walking in front of us and keep turning to see what's happening. Then guess what? As we are walking, oh, hello, Dr. Lai, how are you? Yes, hello, yes, fine. All right. So can you imagine? My husband is a child and adolescent psychiatrist, and we had this screaming child over his shoulder. Okay. And we let him scream so that he learns that just because you throw a tantrum does not mean you get what you want. You notice that a lot of parents, if it's toys, they don't want to be embarrassed, you see, so they quickly buy. So what will happen the next time you go to the supermarket? Okay. Now then, escape from unfavorable situations. You may suddenly have a child who's crying in a party. Okay, why? Be careful, especially if the party has a clown in it. A number of children are scared of clowns, and even I don't like clowns because you look carefully at the faces. They look a bit, to me, they look a bit devilish. Okay, so he doesn't want to be at the party because scared of the clown. Okay, in school, he's crying. Why? Could be that you've asked him or her to do some work, okay, and they don't want to do that work. Yeah. Now, seeking attention. This is something that happened that a lot of parents had difficulty with during the lockdown and when they were working from home. Okay, so parent working from home, then the child will come and ask for this. Child goes off, and then for the next 15 minutes, the child will come and 4-5 times. Then the parents get irritated and shout at the child. Okay, you see, the child keeps coming to you because the child wants, if the child is not hungry, if you've given all the child wants your attention. And when you don't give attention, okay, your child will do something to get your negative attention. Even if you were to shout at the child, at least you are giving attention to the child. Okay, now this happens a lot in sibling rivalry. If you've got a new baby in the house and the older one is 2, 3, 4 years older, okay, you may suddenly discover that the older child's behavior has changed. Sangat nakal lah dia. Why? Because the child is jealous of all the attention that the new baby is getting. So therefore, if you are going to have a new baby, prepare your older child, saying that, oh, there's this child coming to go and to be able to play with you, etc. I will need your help, look after them. And when the child is here, okay, make the older sibling, all right, feel very important by bringing the diapers over, bringing the milk bottle, whatever. And then there's one thing that I did with my children. When Nathan is the eldest, then Jonathan was born 2.5 years later. So when I brought in my bag to hospital, he likes, these Hot Wheel toys. So this is the baby. His name is Jonathan. And here, darling, Jonathan brought this for you. It was a toy car. Wow, he's very happy. And then you know what he told me? Mommy, when can we go to the supermarket? I said, why? I want to buy a present for TT. Okay, and then after that, when I had Timothy, okay, then you know what I heard? I heard the elders telling Jonathan, when Timothy comes, Timothy will bring present, Okay. What I did with parents during suggested for the children seeking attention is this. First of all, you give the child a lot of attention during breakfast, etc. Then after that, take them over to the corner where they're going to do and tell them, okay, do this jigsaw puzzle. Okay, I will come back in 5 minutes to see how you are doing. So you come back, oh, very good. You've got quite a lot of it done. All right. Once you finish this jigsaw puzzle, okay, I have another activity. All right. You go and sit down. 5 minutes later, before the children come to you, you go back and praise them for sitting quietly and completing the puzzle. Then, ta-dang! Okay, you've got some work, coloring pictures. It could be those, the puzzle number 1 join to 2, 3, 4. I'll give it to them. Then you tell them you are going to come back in 10 minutes time. And go back in 10 minutes time, you lavishly praise them for the work that is done. Okay, then now you tell them, hey, now here are some storybooks. All right, and toddlers means a lot of pictures. A picture book for you to look at. When you have finished, okay, we will have tea. All right. Better still, if when you are finished, okay, you can help me prepare sandwiches. Right. Then after that, okay, then after that, they go back and now maybe they can watch 20 minutes of cartoon. So actually what I was doing actually was helping the children feel comfortable sitting down and doing their own thing in the living room while mommy and daddy are working in the dining room. And once you have to do this for 2-3 days, a lot of praise and all that. Then after that, leave them alone for 10 minutes and then 15 minutes. And soon you can get to 30 minutes. All right. So you slowly train. Now, getting automatic satisfaction. It's interesting, especially when it's women who cry, they're very upset. They actually hug themselves and they rock. Yeah, you feel better. You know why? It goes back to your childhood when you were rocked. Okay, so sometimes people do certain things like that because it feels good. Now, when it comes to children with autism, they like to do this: play with their saliva, flap their hands. Okay, why? Because they can feel something, they like it. Okay. Now, let's have a look. When you look at a child's behavior, you got to ask yourself, what's the reason for the behavior? And generally speaking, these are 2. Okay, which here I gave you 4. Okay, I narrow down to the 2 which usually happens when children want something. They want something desirable, whether it's positive or negative reinforcement. So we know that children do their work. After that, you praise them. They are happy. Then next time what will happen? They are actually quite happy. They are happier to do the work. Okay. Then students want to avoid something undesirable. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to fail. So if they don't do the work, then there is no danger of them failing. Scolding by teacher, never mind. They don't want to be embarrassed, okay? Or they want attention, okay? Now, when you approach the child and you want them to do what you want them, okay, what you want, you have to be careful whether you are actually using positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is, okay, right, that is wonderful. I like the way you finished your writing, such neat and clear words. Come on, high five. Easy. Okay, right? You can do that. Negative reinforcement is something like this. If you don't finish, then you don't go for recess. Okay, now I want to ask you, would you prefer positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement? Obviously, you want positive, isn't it? Yep, so children too. Now, why do children display bad behavior? One, it's reinforced by adult attention. So, for example, work from home. The children are doing work and all that, you don't bother. Okay, no sound. Then suddenly when they're shouting and all that, you go there and shout at them. Okay, then you leave. After a while, the children will realize that if they want attention from you, they just have to misbehave and you'll come. Okay, so that's when you're all right. The child is doing the bad behavior because they want the attention. All right. Now, bad behavior can be caused by anticipation or anxiety. You've told the child that the child can have ice cream, and then after that, what? You forget to buy. There will be screaming and yelling. Yep. Caused by inappropriate expectations. My husband heard of this kindergarten down in KL. Okay. Apparently there's a waiting list to go to enter that kindergarten. So a doctor's friend sent the child there. Okay, and guess what? This kindergarten, they have what do you call it? They have a entry exam, for children. And then the doctor was told, your child, okay, all right, is very, very poor in English. This is like 5 years old. She cannot spell crocodile. How many of us here knew how to spell crocodile when we were 4 or 5 years old? Okay, so be careful, inappropriate expectation. Okay, sometimes bad behavior is actually caused by the brain circuitry. Okay, excessive brain reactivity. All right, what you can do is that we need to teach the child how to calm down. Okay, and then there are certain actually exercises that they can do. Bad behavior can be caused by environmental stresses or dysfunctional environment. So remember, you get what do you call that? Construction work next door. Yeah. Okay. If you want to influence the children's behavior, please, all right, use positive language. First is you need to pay attention. What is it you want from the child? You want to teach the children, after they have finished work, they will put their piece of paper, the worksheet, in a basket. Okay? Right. Now, if they are preschool children, do you think you want to tell them, please put your worksheets in the basket in alphabetical order? Boleh kah? Okay, so actually what is important to you? Paper being placed in the basket or alphabetical order? It should be paper, all right, placed in the basket. Yeah. Now, overseas, they do a lot of these baskets and things. You know why? It means that the teacher has more time to spend with students. If not, this will happen. Teacher, I finished. Teacher, I finished. Then you have to go and walk up and down to go and collect, isn't it? I mean, it's good exercise for you, but in terms of time spent on education, okay, going around collecting worksheets is actually a waste of time. So teach the children to put it in the basket. What I noticed, and actually I also used, was you can have 2 baskets, preferably because younger children will use color coding, red and green. Green is for all the work you want to send in. Red is for the children to collect their next piece of work. Okay. Now, cue and manage more than punish. That means instead of punishing, teach the child what to do. Remember the boy who came into my classroom without knocking? Did I scold him or shout at him or embarrass him? No. I just cued him. I guided him what to do. Yeah. So, for example, nowadays, sanitizer. So your teacher is watching. John, Why are you so lazy? Huh? How many? Go and sanitize your hands. How many times I'm going to tell you? You're wasting time. Huh? Okay, and it's also very negative. So what you should is, John, then you can do this. Oh, okay, there he goes. Pay more attention to good behavior than bad behavior. And after a while, the children, everybody likes to be praised. Okay. Thank you, Mary and Jill and Peter. You've sanitized your hands beautifully. All right. So what will happen to the other children? They will also go sanitize their hands because they want to be praised by me. Yeah. Another example is this. Children, okay, come to the carpet, please. It's storytelling time. Right. Then, Peter, Mary, what are you doing over there? Don't you know you're supposed to come here to the carpet? Okay, then now all the children are already on the carpet. Jump up. Right. Correct. All startled, no? Okay, so now you got some children are a bit slow. Mary, Lisa, and Sally, you are seated so nicely on the carpet. Thank you. Oh, yes, Peter and John, you're sitting nicely too. Well done. Okay. Lisa, Jimmy, storytelling time. So they come over. Okay. So whenever you see children doing the behavior that you want, praise. Okay, praise. Now, the child makes an error or a mistake, don't punish. Instead, you go, oh dear, whoops. I think you've got to try that again. Whoops. That's good work, but whoops. Oh dear. What should you write on top here? Your name, that's right. Okay, go write your name. Everybody's happy, right? Yeah. Our problem is, why you didn't write your name, huh? Right. Now, if the child has developmental delay or the family's genetics or genes, okay, there's something there, or there's a problem with brain chemistry, then what you do is, okay, either you ignore what has happened or you manage their bad behavior. So development delays are like autism. You scream at the autistic child also is not going to help, right? But when you do scream at a child with autism, it affects that child and actually will affect the others, because you know why? They don't like you screaming. And secondly, the children discovered you are screaming at that boy with autism. They will also learn how to scream at him. Yeah, there are more and more children actually nowadays turning up in preschool, kindergarten, and lowest primary with special needs, and most of it is autism. Okay, I will not be able to do much here, but if you would like to have a talk on managing children with autism in an integrated classroom, then please inform Teacher Christian Fellowship and we'll see what you can do. Yeah, genetics of families here can be Down syndrome. Okay, and by the way, ADHD and autism are also genetic. So if, okay, child A has autism, go and, all right, check the father. The father actually will most probably have some autism, because my husband has had parents doing this. My husband diagnoses that child as having, okay, mild autism or whatever, and then suddenly the father says, I think I also have autism after he heard my husband's diagnosis. Okay, so you cannot go and shout at the Down syndrome and all that. If they cannot do something, they cannot do something, but you can modify it to something easier. Okay? You can modify it to something easier. If all your children are supposed to write 50-word essay, your Down's child, okay, may only be able to write 20 words, or you give the child fill in the blanks passage. Yeah. Brain chemistry can cause depression, okay, and other issues. All right. So observe, check with other teachers whether they are seeing the same thing, then talk to parents. Now, teachers or parents, why are you so naughty? Okay, sorry. Please don't give a lecture. The child lost interest or after the first 10 words, I think the child lost interest already. Okay? Right? Stop that, please. All right. We will do this. Okay? Then don't show a lot of emotion. You make me so unhappy, you know how. Okay, forget it. Okay. Next thing is this. Parents like to fix their children. Okay? And sometimes they are fixing, all right, makes matters worse. Okay, let me give you an example. Children are now starting to come to preschool and they are, excuse me, they're 5 years old. Okay, I mean, nowadays even 6 years old, cannot wear shoes and socks independently. Why? Most likely, this is the scenario at home. Hurry up, I'm going to be late. Come on, I'm going to be late, hurry up. Okay, then after that, Ayah, father, or if the Indonesian, kakak, you put on the shoes and socks for her. She's so slow. So every day, if someone else helps the child to wear shoes and socks, does the child get an opportunity to learn how to wear the shoes and socks? Okay, so you know what you do? You teach them how to wear shoes and socks as part of your life skills in the kindergarten program in the kindergarten. Okay, so the parents try to fix the problem, okay, of the child. Okay, the child is actually too slow in getting ready for school. So, but their fix causes a trouble later. The child doesn't have the skill. Okay, another one. Can you beat it? An 8-year-old boy in standard 2 still wearing diapers to school. And all right, he's still wearing diapers, and he was wearing adult size small diapers. And then he was, and he went and what? He went and defecated in his diapers, so people say, what's the smell? Okay, then they asked him to go and clean up, and he didn't know how to clean up because kakak does everything. So he pulled down the shorts and the diapers, and then had the hose with water, and then was crying away at the door, at the toilet door, and everyone was looking and laughing at him. He had to call the mother to pick him up. So the child got traumatized. Didn't want to go to school. Now, is this the child's mistake or the parents' mistake? It's the parents. I cannot understand how the mother could go to supermarket and buy, all right, adult small size diapers for her son, who's 8 years old. And the kakak won't complain. Easier for kakak. So what happened in this case was the parents, all right, had failed to toilet train the child. Next is, if there are a few things you want the child to learn, can you please figure out which you want to start with first? Okay, you want the child to learn please and thank you first and use it first, or you want the child to be able to sit down to do work quietly on their own for 20 minutes or half an hour? Which one do you want to start with first? Next, anger is your choice. Okay, You get angry or you stay calm, up to you. And clapping hands needs 2 hands, right? So arguing also takes 2, you and the child. Or nowadays, you and the parent. Okay, please choose not to argue. Right. Teachers, when the child is angry, okay, or when you are angry, okay, because the child has not followed your instructions, non-compliance, okay, this one, shut up. Don't say anything to respond to the child. Okay, what is shut down? Okay, don't let that enter your head and make you make you upset. Because likely if it does that is if you allow the situation to upset you, the next thing that you will do is you are going to open your mouth, and then after that, okay, a few hours later, you will regret what you had said or done. Okay? Because we say things and do things that are not very nice when we're angry. So, next. Yes. Did you all read in the newspapers or on the news about this actor Will Smith in America? All right. There was a presenter, and also he's a comedian. What's his name? Chris Rock. And Chris Rock went and made a comment about Will Smith's wife. He got angry. He went up on the stage and he slapped him. Okay. The reason is, if you notice, the wife, her head is shaven. There is a reason. She has a problem whereby her hair comes up. Okay, so Will Smith got upset that Chris Rock's joke, okay, was what? Offensive to the wife. He should have what? Shut up and shut down, but he didn't. He didn't. Luckily for him, Chris Rock has declined to press charges against him, although he is actually allowed to. Now, the Academy has suspended Will Smith for the next 10 years. Worth it or not? Actually, what would have been better? If he wanted to, he could have walked up to the stage, to the mic, and told people, okay, that he doesn't like, he thinks it is very rude of Chris Rock to make a joke about his wife's lack of hair, because it is not right to laugh at people who have a medical condition. He should have done that. He didn't. He slept. Okay. Now ask directly for the exact positive behaviors you want. So just now we did that. Okay. Sit down. Okay. Walk, please. Praise. Okay. Their behavior, including something they did yesterday or last week. Adaptive behavior means when they changed their behavior and did the right thing. Example, okay, remember I've asked the children to come and sit on the carpet for storytelling, and I still got 2 there. Peter, Mary, I can do this. Come here, story time. And then they quickly came over without complaining. So you can praise that. Okay. And whenever you have people who are talking very loudly and very fast, that means they're very angry. What do? You speak softly and slowly. I'm very angry. You. Okay. I understand that you are feeling angry. You slow down. And you do that, the other person actually slows down. Okay, then Children, you know, when they're learning how to write, won't be very nice looking, right? But what do? You praise them for the attempt. Now be careful. That is such beautiful writing, and it's still not very nice. And then after that, a child may stop already, you know? Okay? So you must be careful. I like that you put effort into your writing, and this C over here, you see it? This is great. Yeah. And then reward the children. Reward more and use less consequences. Now, rewarding doesn't mean having to buy presents. Rewarding can be, okay, great. Okay, Peter and Mary, I like the way you help to put all the toys back in the basket. Okay, would you like, okay, to choose 2 songs for circle time tomorrow? It could be that. Yeah. Then when you praise, be careful. Think carefully and look first before you praise. Okay. This is what happened to me in England. I was teaching a year 1 class. Okay. Year 1 in England is when the children are going to be 6 years old. So they actually, UK children go to school 1 year ahead of us. So K2 in Malaysia is year 1 in UK. I had done a storytelling, and the story had lots of animals, and then I told the children to go and draw the animal that they like. Okay. Then I went round. Okay. Oh, that's a lovely tiger. Yeah. You've drawn that so well. I like the tigers. I especially like the tiger's long tail. Child was happy. They went around. Then this is what happened. Oh, that's a lovely whale. Then it's not a whale. It's an elephant. Child going to cry already now. Oh my goodness, just let me have a closer look at that. Took the paper out. Oh yes, of course it's an elephant. Look. Okay, yeah, yes. I am so sorry. I think I need to change my glasses. This one got desperate already. Okay, so I didn't want the child to cry. So then I was a little bit pandai. If I'm not sure what the picture is, can you tell me about your picture? Then they'll tell you what animal it is. Okay, so I learned to be very pandai. Okay, right. So remember, when you praise honestly and praise specifically. What is it that you are praising? Honestly is important. So don't say things like that. That is the most beautiful, okay, cat I've seen. Then you go to the next one. Oh, that is the most marvelous cat, the best cat in the world. Then you go to another child. Oh, okay, it's the best in the world. It's over the top, and after a while, the children will not quite won't appreciate it. They know that you are just trying, okay, to make them happy. Okay. Right, next, provide a variety of reinforcement, whole class, group, and individual. All right, let me tell you what happened in UK. When I went over to the UK in the beginning, okay, I was teaching, what's that called? Freelance through a teaching agency. So I will go and teach in any school that needs a teacher. So I had to go teach in this primary school for 2 weeks because the teacher had gone for a course or something. So I was told to go teach year 4. Okay, year 4. I had about 20 students. Yep. And what the teacher had done was that she had whole class reinforcement plus individual reinforcement. So this is what happened. On the teacher's desk, there is this bowl. It looks like a goldfish bowl, but it's actually made of plastic, transparent. Next to that, there was a container of marbles. So whenever the children, for example, you have been working so quietly, well done. Then I'll take some marbles and I put it into the goldfish bowl. Okay. I like the way Peter and Mary have been helping their friends. Well done. Okay, put inside. Right? That is great. You cleared up the classroom so fast. Okay, and so I must give you a reward. Check to one handful, put inside. So the thing is this: whenever the marble jar fills up, it may take over 2 days. Okay, marble jar fills up. Okay, then the whole class gets a reward. Okay, so the reward, okay, that the children usually like is this: is that I give them 20 minutes of free play time. Okay, so that means before they go home, all right, they have 20 minutes of free play, and they get to choose whether they want to listen to stories. We had earphones and all that, and you know the old CD player. Then we had, this is 2001, 2002, one computer in the classroom. So you can have 2 children using it. Then in the cabinets, there are board games. Then there are costumes, old clothes and all that the children use to dress up. So there are a lot of stuff for the children actually. Okay, so the children will be on their best behavior and even help the slower students, all right, to work faster so that the marble jar fills up very quickly. Okay, now individual behavior. Okay, so Mary and Peter have helped the other children. So therefore, what I did was, for the whole class, I gave them marbles in the jar. For Peter and Mary, okay, I want to give individual rewards. So Peter and Mary get to choose what they want to play with during the 20-minute free time. Or it can be half an hour free time. Okay, they get to choose. So Peter says he wants the TV. Okay, and then Mary says she wants one particular board game. So they get it first. Yeah. So is that okay? Doable. Now, the most, okay, what do you call it? Popular individual gift, individual reward is, we have a lanyard, you know, the string, and this card, and the card says first to lunch. First to lunch. What that means is at 12:30 they go for lunch. And you must understand that the children have to line up, isn't it? Queue up with their tray to get their food. It may take some time. So first to lunch means 5 minutes before lunch begins, the children are let out. They get their food first and they sit down and they get to eat while watching their classmates line up. So first to lunch, very popular. All right, so you can actually have a discussion with the teachers in your school and come up with some ideas. Okay, how to reward the children. Next, teachers, don't take a child's behavior personally. They are not deliberately, all right, screaming and yelling just to make you angry. Remember, especially if your children are in preschool and kindergarten or even lower primary, they may have a skills deficit. They scream and yell, they have a skills deficit. You know what? Their problem is they don't know how to manage their emotions. Okay, so we as teachers need to teach them emotional regulation, how to manage your emotions. Overseas, social and emotional learning, which includes emotional regulation, is actually taught in class as a subject from kindergarten all the way to year 11 or form 5. Okay, that will be a topic for another workshop. Do not ask children for behaviors of work that they are incapable of performing. You try and ask a 3-year-old to cut perfectly. Use scissors perfectly. Boleh ke tak boleh? You can take a cane and whack the child pun tak boleh. Okay? So if you are having a 3, 4-year-old cutting, as long as it's lebih kurang the shape, if it's not neat or jaggy, you accept it. I like the way you are able to follow the line. Don't say it's the best piece of work and you can't. That's not true. But I like the way you follow the line when you are cutting. How many of you expect a 4-year-old to know A to Z and write capital letter and small letter correctly? All right. They may not be able to. It doesn't matter. They still have time to learn. I have been contacted by one of the pejabat pelajaran daerah PPD in. I live in Penang. There are 5 PPDs. I've been invited to train the teachers for how to manage students with dyslexia. And guess what? I said no. Okay, I said no. Because I asked and found out that these are the children in year 1, year 2, mostly. The number of children with dyslexia, the teacher says more than 9. So what I said was that the children in year 1, year 2, the last 2 years, they did not attend kindergarten regularly. So they did not have time to practice writing, practice the ABC. They can recognize A to Z, but for them to write it from memory, they cannot. They haven't had much time to do practice. And I think we all know parents are unable to get the children to do handwriting at home. Okay? They have to do it in school. Right. So what I then taught them, I told the PPD is this: I will, be available to run a 2-hour session for your teachers. Okay, and I will be training them how to teach early literacy skills, which children should have learned in kindergarten. And I believe once they have done this as a revision or first time learning, most of them will then be able to write. Okay, you will then see that actually they don't have dyscalculia. There will be some who still cannot manage, and those are the students we need, to assess for dyslexia, and then after that, put in the intervention. Okay, so in the beginning, when children are learning how to read and write, they will terbalik some of the letters, okay, and all right, they don't seem to be able to recognize some letters too. Don't worry. If their children are in kindergarten or year 1, year 2, we can still train them. All right. Okay, so remember, nowadays, because of the pandemic, what you need to do is you need to observe what your children can do and cannot do. And what they cannot do, you need to do a bit of remedial teaching. Because education generally is layer cake. Correct? If one layer is not there, you cannot do it. So if the children cannot recognize the ABC or they cannot write it properly, you're going to have a problem with what? Reading. Okay? And then after they start reading, they need to write sentences, so they cannot write. So very, very important, the foundational skills are early literacy and numeracy. So if you find the children cannot do it, repeat kindergarten work. Okay, look for antecedents and goals for problem behaviors, then develop plans to intervene, which I'll be doing with you. Okay, go and find, all right, what teachers have done in this situation and how it worked. Okay, then you follow. Right, classroom, I'm going to go through very fast. Classroom, all right, very important. Yeah, I hope those in kindergarten, make sure that there's enough space for the children to walk without bumping into things. For the government schools will be a bit more of a problem because we are squeezing children into the classrooms. Okay. Then your notice boards must be colorful and attractive. Last time in England, the teacher has to change notice board display every month. The children are expected to learn from what is on the board. Okay, so you have one board where you put things for them to learn. The other board is the children's work. Okay, in kindergartens, if the area where you want your children to sit in group for storytelling and circle time must have enough space for all the children to sit comfortably. Now, when the children are very young, 3-4 years old, especially 5 years old, you may have trouble getting them to stay in the place on the carpet. Okay, so what you can do is you can get those flat cushions for the dining table chair. You know, the flat one, what do you call that? The square flat one, flat cushions for dining table chair. They usually have like ribbons at the back to tie. Okay, so you can you can put it on the floor and the children will sit on their own cushion. That will sort of keep them in their place. Another thing you can do is masking tape or duct tape. Tape squares on the floor. Okay, or I have done this before. Hula hoop. Every child will hold one hula hoop and then they will sit down inside their hula hoop. Why is it important to make sure they can stay in place? One thing is this: hands and feet. You know that when children are very close together, after a while, the tangan will go and catch out the other child. Teacher, he's pulling my hair. Okay. Another one is, teacher, I don't like her touching me. Then another one is, all right, their legs, then they stretch out their leg and then they turn out the child in front, there will another child. So the children need to see where they're supposed to sit. You're giving them a boundary. So use hula hoop. Okay. Kindergartens are expected to have learning centers. That is what the MOE, all right, the guidebook says. So make sure that you have certain distinct, that means very clear, no? That is the learning center. And then you need to put up on the wall some simple instructions of what they're supposed to do at the center. And then, okay, it will be good if you can put, you know, those footsteps, the sticker, to show them where to walk. Okay, where to walk so they don't bump into people in the next center. Okay, learning center boundaries. Put your shelves or furniture in such a way that, you know, it will be like literally a wall between two centers. Okay, or use masking tape. Okay, or use hula hoop. Hula hoop very useful for activities including movement. So what you can actually do is have some hula hoops. You know there are different sizes. You can have the smaller ones. Outside where there is area to play, put down the hula hoops, and then you can play music, and the music stops, you're going to jump into the hula hoop. Okay, so you can use do things like that. Yeah. Teach the children how to get the resources and the materials and how to use the materials in the different learning center. Okay. Then please teach them how to use whatever task, whatever things you put there, how to do it. All right. We want the teacher to be able to spend time with the student, Okay. We don't want this to happen. Miss Indranee, where's the marker pen? Or Miss Indranee, I need paper. Miss Indranee, I cannot reach the what? Then Miss Indranee will have lots of exercise. That is good, but the thing is that I don't have time to spend with individual students. Now, storage should be labeled with words and pictures. Why? Your younger children cannot read, but your younger student can see pictures. Okay, so when they see, they will put it back. After, I'm going to show you a short video. Always keep your resources in the same place, so it's you and the children can access it faster, and cleanup time is much faster too. Okay, about cleaning up. What you do is, first you're going to manage one transition, because kids are enjoying themselves, and then after you want to change, they're not going to be very happy. So you tell them 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, they have 5 minutes more. Then, all right, children, I'm going to sing the clean up song, and you all clean up. Okay, right. Let's clean up, everybody, clean up. So you sing that, then the children will put away the things. Because when you're singing, you have songs. They find it's fun. Then you won't have people cry, oh no, I want to play some more. Okay, usually you won't get that. All right. And then this is important. You know that children stop playing with toys if they are too familiar with the toys, or the toys are there for too long. Yeah. So you may want to arrange every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, you're going to change the activities in the center. Okay. Okay. Create routines for your students so that your class is more organized. All right. And when you have routines, you have less behavior issues. So for children, routines can reduce their anxiety. They don't get so worried. Oh, I know after this, I'm supposed to do this. Or I know where I'm going to put this away. Okay. When you have routines, you can spend more time in the learning activities. You don't have to spend time every day explaining what they're supposed to be doing. Okay. Routines provide reliability and continuity, so the child feels safe and in control. Okay. Now, when you're teaching them how to transition, you need to get your other teachers to help. And then what you do? You act it out with the other teacher. Okay. You act it out with the other teacher. You may have to repeat it every day for a week. Yep. Here you teach your transition. Your transition, all right, instructions should be like a recipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And you tell the children, if necessary, use pictures to show them what to do. Okay. Right. How do you discipline young children? Number 1, loving and nurturing classroom environment. Number 2, make sure that the children know what are the goals and what you expect. And then be mindful, all right, to prevent potential problems. So, for instance, okay, you know that there is one student, okay, who's going to go over to that center because he likes dinosaurs, but actually his group that they should not be at the dinosaur station, they should be at another station. But this boy will go there and grab. And when the boy goes there and grab, there are other children there will shout and complain. So what you can do actually is you tank up this child first. Okay? Can you? All right, Peter, come. Can you hold this clipboard for me? Okay. Now, right? I would like you to walk to the different centers, okay? And then you tell me who are the students there and I will mark the attendance. Okay, Peter? You should be very happy. Okay? So what do? You give him something else to do. Yep. Another thing that you could actually do is if you know this boy is going to run over to the dinosaur center when he's not supposed to be there, you can have another dinosaur and you put it on your table and ask the boy to come over. Here's the dinosaur. Okay, please go and go to your group, and then after you've done that, this dinosaur will be waiting for you to play with it. Alternatively, the dinosaur, you can hold it and go to the different centers. Okay? Now, teach the skills that are necessary so that the children can do what you want them to do. Okay? Practice, rehearse the situations, teach the club, the teacher, the students to give positive reinforcement to each other. That means you see, we have a problem. We have teenagers and children who get upset when another child is praised. They get very jealous. So here, all right, the children will cheer each other on. Very important. Then, any child who behaves in a positive way, the child shows positive behavior, all right, praise and say, John is sitting so nicely on his chair. Good sitting, John. Specific. All right, now, you need to have some signals for the children. Red light, green light, blue light, whatever, Usually red light, you can draw, put it up. Red is stop. Okay, so green is go, and amber or orange is wait. So you can show the children. Children, red light, or children, orange light. Get ready. Either get ready to go or get ready to start. Okay? Use time out and time away. Time out is 1 minute for each year of the child's age. 5 minutes means the child is 5 years old. It would be good if you have one corner, okay, where the children can go to calm down. In that corner, you can have Play-Doh or plasticine so they can make, or they get angry, they whack. Okay. An old cushion is also very useful. If you have a nice timer, you know, like especially if it's the, what do you call those? Hourglass. Okay. So when the child sits there in the turn it around, when all the sand has gone down, okay, come back. Okay, come back. When all the sand has gone in, all right, come and see me. So you give the child time to calm down. Another thing that you can do is this: go and get the water bottles, the plastic drinking water bottles. Okay, for younger children, maybe the 500 ml will do. Older, you can use the 1 liter. You put water and oil, or only oil, okay, or just water Inside, you put sprinkles and other small things. Shake, shake, shake. The children, you like to shake it. Shake, 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 shake. Everything's all mixed up. Then they'll see the sprinkles slowly floating down. When all the sprinkles have floated down, then the child can rejoin the class. Okay? And things like that. You need to put something, a shelf or something, so that that place and the other that others cannot see the child. Okay, so they still remain in their class. A child is only sent out to the principal's office when really tak boleh. Okay, then use words to choose to behavior and decision. So I gave an example of clearing up. Then you can have a line up song like line up. Then you have a song. All right. So when they hear it, they know what to do. Because singing is fun. All right. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go through this. For young children, and we do this also for especially autism or children with autism, this is a daily schedule. So the child knows what is coming next. You got pictures there. Okay? You can also put the time if you want. So the children know what is happening. Okay. You can have all these signs. Either you make yourself. These pictures I got from Amazon. Okay. One advantage of using this is you don't have to keep your voice is not, all the time. You don't speak all the time. So now you can do this. Yep. Okay. Because I'm giving you the PDF, you can read it. I'm just going to go through very quickly. Now, classroom rules. Okay. Looking eyes, listening ears, quiet mouth, helping hands, walking feet. All written positively, and each and every one has a verb. So the children know what to do. You can actually copy this and I'm not sure whether you can directly send for printing, probably A2 size. Is it, or A3, the bigger one? Or you just copy the words. All right. Rules classroom rules should be visual with picture icon. This is nice. It's done in personal style. Listening bodies. I will listen and follow directions. I will raise my hand. Okay. All right. You notice that our Malaysian one is jangan lari, jangan. Okay, this is another I. I will listen and follow instructions. Okay, class expectations. Right, let me tell you this. The younger the children are, the fewer your rules. So basically, if they are in when they're 5 years old, 6 years old, 3 rules will do. Okay. So these are for slightly older children. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Okay. You want your children to cooperate. Here, you tell them what to do to show that they are cooperating. Cooperation, we work together, we take turns, we will be patient with one another, we show good sportsmanship, we will help one another, and we will solve our disagreements with rock, paper, scissors. So, all right, both children want the same activity, rocks, paper, stone. Okay, all right then, John, you play with it first, then after that, Jill, all right, you take over. All right, so this is pretty good. Okay. ACTS for you to set limits. Okay, you can't have rules for everything. A is acknowledge the child's behavior, feeling, wishes, or desires. So you seem angry. So child feeling. You really don't want to work today. Okay. communicate the limit. The sand is not for throwing. Just to let you know why the sand there, because in UK and the other Western countries, you have a sandbox in the classroom or just outside the classroom. Okay, and I can tell you, my 5.5-year-old year 1 students had already been trained. Okay, when you want to play with the sand in the sandbox, it's like a table. Huh? The sand, your hands full of sand, mustn't go above your waist. Because you want above your throat, so mustn't go above your waist, you have to put your hand down to play. It's time to work on maths now. Okay, so then tell them what they're supposed to do. You must keep the sand in the box. It's time to work on math now, so get your book and paper out and get started. So now you speak calmly, all right? Step 1, and give calm instructions. Now, sometimes limits are broken. So the S is state your final choice. If you choose to throw the sand again, you choose to leave the center and go to your desk. You have a lot of adults, children. She made me do it. It's her fault. Okay? You throw sand, then okay, that is your choice to throw sand. Therefore, if you do it, all right, you need to go back to your desk. No one actually made the child do that, choose to do that. So it's you chose. Okay? If you do not do your work now, you'll be assigned to detention to do it. Obviously, this is for upper secondary or something. Upper primary. Remember to emphasize that the consequence is the child's choice and not yours. Okay? Right. I'm going to go quickly to show you, all right, so that you can go back and read it. Interventions are what to do in certain situations. It is actually very useful for you. Okay. So, what I'd like us to do is what? To grow bonsai together. You and I are gardeners. Okay, and our garden is very rich with many, many children. Okay, thank you. Evelyn, you just let me show a video for a while, part of it.
Yes, just go ahead.
Can you see my video? Can you all see my video? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now this woman,
Yes.
won an award, the best year 1 teacher, okay, in the UK. So there is this behavior consultant who has come to video her with her class. And what we are going to see now is, it's the first day of school. So it will be in September. First day of school. She's welcoming the children and their parents. Okay. She lets the parents come in so that the children will feel what? Will feel more, secure, more comfortable. Then you will also see that immediately the children go to the different learning centers. Yeah. And then you'll see one child who is feeling what? Anxious. And what she does is she wants to follow the mother. Mrs. Price is going to bring her back into the classroom. And then later on, there's a child who says that she is feeling itchy all over. Okay. And that actually feeling itchy can be a sign of anxiety. Then when we go through the learning centers, look at the labels on the drawers and all that. Yeah.
Good morning, and who's this then? It's Holly, isn't it? I remember you, Holly.
How does a top teacher lay down the ground rules for good behaviour at the beginning of the school year?
Put your name on here for a school dinner.
John Bailey's come to observe former Teacher of the Year, Libby Price, on the very first morning of her new reception class.
Oh, what lovely smiley faces. Come on in then.
Libby's first job is to reassure the parents, who will be a key tool in the work she's doing with the children. It's mornings only for the first 2 weeks.
You look in command. I mean, as a matter of fact, you're as in command of the parents as you are the children. You look very confident and in control. Is that how you felt? How do you feel at the beginning of term?
I'm always anxious at the start of the school year. I'm thinking about where did I start last year to get them where they were by the end of the year.
Oh.
When they first come into school like this on this first day, they don't know they haven't got any rules or boundaries, and I don't want them sat waiting for me. I want them in and activating and getting interested and on with things. And I ask the parents to stay with them until the parents are absolutely comfortable that their child feels secure and able to be left.
If you're not settled in your environment, learning goes out of the window.
Absolutely, and I always think it's the reptilian part of the brain that is in command. Basic survival things that need to be dealt with before you can actually teach the children. The children become receptive to new learning.
I'm itching everywhere. You're itching everywhere. Oh, let's just scratch a little back just like that. That might help. Does that help? Yeah? Perhaps if you did a nice stick, it might help take your mind off it. Hey, come in, Holly. Come on, let's have a look. There you go. Come on, sweetheart. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what you were doing just here then. Is this your picture? What a clever girl. You can already write your name.
If we're interested in behaviour management, in fact, what's happening here is that the children are walking into a room and finding familiar and enjoyable activities with which they feel comfortable. Is that right?
Absolutely. These, to me, are nursery-age children. They're not yet reception children. They're in a state of transition.
Do you see the labels here? So after playing with the toys, the children can put everything back neatly.
And I've got to ease them in and make sure that the experiences that I'm giving them are good, solid experiences that they can handle and deal with so that they'll feel comfortable in that classroom.
That's almost like the first thing, isn't it?
The provision is very important because unless you get your provision, when your provision is wrong, that's when your behaviour issues are likely to occur.
Do you know, I'm going to give you a clap. In fact, you can give yourselves a clap for coming to school on your first day and being such fantastic children. When you're in my class, you're Mrs. Price's tigers, right? We're all tigers in this class, right? And do you know what tigers do? They go, wow.
And some tigers come run very fast, and antelope.
I'm very interested in your Ra. What's all this tigers and Ra about? What's happening there?
I'm trying to give them an identity so that to make them a group, to quickly bring them together and so that we have a group identity. And we're the tigers. And and that way of going around, that's to get the children's attention and get them sitting smartly and ready to learn.
But do you know what? When I say to you, are you ready, my little tigers? You have to go, no, wait a minute, because I've got to wait for me to ask you first. And you only do it one time. Are you ready, my little tigers? And then you cross your arms like that.
It's putting routines into the day, because at this particular point, the quicker I can establish routines, the more secure the children feel.
Come on a little bit closer, a bit closer. Claire, you're sitting beautifully. Wow, what fabulous children. Goodness me. You're sitting beautifully. You're sitting so smartly. Do you know what this chicken says here? It says, good sitting, please. And you are doing excellent sitting. Well done. I'm so pleased with you.
I'm just going to hazard a guess that these routines and being absolutely clear about them is probably more important than the rewards and the sanctions.
Yeah, the children enjoy doing them, and it builds things into the day that the children can relate to.
I think you have been absolutely wonderful this morning, right? Give yourselves another pat on the back. But now what we need to talk about now, Rebecca, is our class rules, something that keeps us safe in our class. What do you think would be a good rule to have in our class?
No smacking.
No smacking is a good thing to do, yeah? Now, should we run in the class or should we walk?
Walk.
Walk. Right, well, do you know, I'm going to write that one down then, because in this class, these tigers, are you listening, Paris? We walk in the classroom. So shall I write that down? Because that's really important to keep us safe. Why do you think we have to walk in the classroom? Right, so that would be a really good safe rule. So rule number 1 is...
Sorry, are you still seeing the...
Always walk.
I'm not going to read what you're writing down.
Video is off.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on?
They can't read, but I'm writing them, I'm getting them in the head. We'll refer to these
Rules time and time again, but
Okay.
after I will go away and I'll write up the rules, and I will put picture clues as well on them, so the children can access these rules by looking at the pictures.
What would happen if everybody was shouting and loud all the time? It would hurt our ears. So what would be a good rule for that?
Be quiet.
Use quiet voices. Well, I'm going to shake your hand. That was a good answer. Right. Rule number 2, we're going to use quiet voices. We always use quiet voices. This one here, this is my rule, this one, and it says, sit down and I'll read it to you. It says, we are always kind and help each other. So in this class, tigers are always kind and they always help each other.
And my rule, that is the strategy that I used. If my something that wasn't acceptable behaviour, I can get the children to self-assess against that statement.
On the sunshine.
Schools. It'll be the last thing that you teach them.
We're all going to stay on the sunshine. If you do something that we don't like at school, then you can't stop on the sunshine. Right? Are you listening, Aaron? Watch, please, because this is really important, because if you do something unkind or something that's not helpful, then we're going to take your name off the sunshine and we're going to put it all by yourself on the rainbow. Sunshine is good. Superstar is excellent. Right?
And what is the wind one for?
This one is not good, and this one's terrible. If you get on the rain cloud, then I have to speak to your mummies and say, I'm very sorry, but they've broken one of our rules. So do you want to be on the rain cloud? No.
Right. So you see that Mrs. Price is teaching the children the rules, and one more thing, she actually also teaches consequences. Yeah. I hope from what you have seen, especially on the video, all right, you have seen and you have heard how a teacher in the UK will set up rules for the students. Right. I am going to send, where's this? I am now going to share the PowerPoint through chat, okay?
Datin.
Pass the time back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Datin, very much for the very insightful session. I'm sure we have learned so much. And now we can have a Q&A time. Would there be questions to ask Datin?
They can, and all right, I didn't have enough time to go through the whole PowerPoint, so I will send it to the teachers. Also, if anyone needs to leave at 12, feel free to, but whoever would like to stay back, I will be available until 12:30.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you very much, Datin. So any pressing question that you want to ask Datin right away, you can unmute yourself. I only saw one question in the Q&A.
Sorry, please check your chat. I've just sent the PowerPoint.
Okay. Everybody, please check the chat box. But there is only one question, Datin, about toilet training.
That is something that I have no idea about. I'm telling you straight. I just do the academic parts. I'm very sorry, I can't help you with that.
Okay.
But I think nowadays children are all coming to school with diapers.
Yeah. So because you are sending the PowerPoint, I'm sure everything is so self-explanatory. That's why they are not asking any questions. But I'm sure they will have a.
We'll wait for a few minutes there.
Yeah. Sulayap, you have raised hands.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm not a teacher, but I'm a mother. I stopped teaching already. So I have these girls. I'm actually training them to away from me for a period of time when I go for cooking. So I'm still learning on this. I need someone because I find I have a difficulty to let them work on some tasks together because they tend to take the how do I manage?
Okay, how old are the children?
2 years and 8 months.
That is going to be difficult. Actually, what I normally do is for older children, say 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, I will ask the mother to put something in the one corner of the kitchen where they can actually work. So it could be that if you are doing cooking, they are doing masak.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but they will take each other thing. Sometimes one have a walk, then another girl will take her thing.
If the children are younger like yours, one possible thing is that the playpen.
They don't want to be in the playpen.
You put the playpen somewhere safe in the kitchen.
Oh.
By the way, if you want the children with you and they're older, they're 3, 4, 5 years old in the kitchen, it is advisable to put so you put the tape away from the stove, so you're not supposed to go to the stove. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you tell them, for example, no, this one cannot, only mommy or daddy can come here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Usually, if you put tape and things like that, the children very quickly learn that is a forbidden place, or that they must play inside that area. You could do that for 3, 4, 5. The problem is because yours are under 2. Yeah, under 2, then it has to be in the playpen.
Okay.
Because there are lots of accidents in the kitchen.
Yes.
I remember there was a case whereby a child, I can't remember what, 2 years old or whatever, went and then touched the handle or something on the stove, pulled it. A whole pot of soup went on top of the child, man. Right. And are there any questions you'd like to ask? I don't bite. You're quite safe. Yeah.
Excuse me, I want to ask some question.
Sure. Yeah.
I want because I am teach 4 and 5 years old children, 5 and 6 years old children. So every day I will teach her some Bahasa and Mandarin. So when every day I will teaching her, we will be noisy lah. So I will tell, hey, please don't noisy, please listening. So he still to means do again. Since noisy again, so I will every day say please quiet, please listening. So every day I expand. So I don't know how to control to her already. So I use many things many ideas to do. So I don't know how to do already.
Okay. All right. Pei Fen, think carefully. Yeah. Your instruction,
yes.
Is it negative or is it positive?
I think some negative, some positive.
Yeah, but if you say don't do.
Yes.
One is negative, but did you tell the child what you want the child to do?
I want to let him sit down to quiet. Let them sit down and quiet to listen to me what I say. Because
okay, how old is the child?
4 and 5 and 6.
Okay. Okay. So in the beginning, what you do is okay. You start off with an interesting activity. Okay, activity. All right. Then after that, finish. Well done. You were sitting, okay, and listening so nicely. Okay. Right. Okay. Then after that, next activity, immediately. Okay. Let's see you sitting down. Okay. Right. My goodness. Okay. You are you are so good at sitting and listening. Stop. After 15 minutes or so, all right, 20 minutes, stop and let the child stand up and do something else.
Okay.
Stretch and all that. You know why? Because they are young, they cannot sit for so long. And then, but they can sit in front of the TV for 1 hour. You know why? Because wow, light action, so interesting. When you come to the teacher, see you, they just see your face, then they see the book, they get fed up, so they can't focus. So you need to catch their attention in 3 ways. Number 1, short activities, okay, and praise. Number 2, okay, make sure that every 15-20 minutes they are standing up and they're doing something that's active. You can go to YouTube, look for action short song, okay, and this is good. Sometimes you've got very interesting children's what do you call it, exercise.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, let me see chat. Okay, I'm gonna put this. You go to YouTube.
The season of winter now has passed. Spring is here to the springtime dance.
Who's ready to hatch some cool pets? Click here to make your very own
Children's songs, sing and move along. Children's songs make your brain and body strong. Ooh, yeah, man. Here we go. Hands roll forward, hands roll back, as we count by tens, forward and back. Just like that, counting forward just like that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Take it back, hands roll backward and count back. 190, 80, 70, 60, 40, 30, 20.
if you go to, you go and look for Jack Hartman, you're going to find a lot of materials. Okay? You're going to find a lot of materials. So I use that. So he's got some number songs, he's got some ABC songs, he's got word songs, for example, even spelling. All right, we have C-A-T, cat, T-H-E, actually the sight words and all that. So just put it in between every 15 to 20 minutes. So the children are moving around, and at the same time, actually, they are singing and they're learning. Even if they're not singing, they're listening, learning.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
So,
and one question, one question for the 2 years old children. My 2 years children got one problem. Every day when he sleeping tight, he not sleeping, but he every day open the cupboard, take all of this out. And then I tell because he called Branson, I said, please Branson, don't do that because it's not so good. So he every time he take out all the things. When I control him, but because he's called special children, he's special children. So when teacher,
what does he have? Autism, is it? Autism, is it?
Can say this one I can say, but he's so active.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
why do you? Okay, why do you think he opens the cupboard? What is the function of the behavior?
He finds something for the means the ice cream stick, because we put ice cream inside the cupboard because for the playing things. So he find all things, take it out and playing.
Well, all right. Now, one thing is this: some of the special children, like all those ADHD and all that, autism, they don't sleep very well. Okay. So, but what you can actually do is this: you can get him to lie down, but you give him something to hold.
Okay.
Example, if he wants he likes a teddy bear, put it there. If it's a book, particular picture, colorful picture book, he likes, put it there. So if he's lying down and looking at it, it's fine.
Okay, you can understand.
You know what I mean? So they may need. So you could either you pick the thing for the child, or all right, you give the child a choice of a few things, and then he will choose one or two to keep with him during that time. Today.
Okay.
Then tomorrow you can choose something else. So because the reason why I'm saying this is, what you want to do, what you want to do is get the child to be on his bed, isn't it? At least lying down, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So give him something that will keep him there. The other thing is that if you can see the child doesn't need that much nap, you can get him 10 months to wake up 10 minutes earlier, and then to help you to prepare the snacks or tea break. Correct not? So you can put everything, you give him the plate, he can put on the table.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Other questions? Comments? Yes, Rachel? I see Rachel's electronic hand.
I think it's just now one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry. I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, right? Because earlier on you were talking about a child with some special needs or maybe needing a bit more attention, and you say, okay, we give them, if he wants a dinosaur, then we let him take the dinosaur to the center and all that. So when we make exceptions to the children, that particular child, it works wonders for him. But how do we then tackle the rest of the class? Because the rest of them also need order, but they obviously can see that that the other child gets away with or has something special. They also want a dinosaur, right? How do you, any tips?
Do the other children realize that there is something that this boy is special?
I've had cases whereby I guess they know that, or not really, because they're only 5-year-olds. Or rather, even they know, they don't really express it lah. That's what happened in my class previously lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they're in primary school, they know and they can actually train the other children to help.
Yep, correct. But this is the
Okay,
5-year-old.
so what you can do is you can actually say that he needs, what do you call that? He needs something to help him. He needs a friend to help him, okay, to go to the centers.
Okay.
Okay, he needs a friend to help him go to the center, right?
Okay. So we basically you're saying that we just have to explain to the other children, you know, why, and then we tell them we are helping him basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have to understand that in order to teach a child, it doesn't mean that every child must be doing exactly the same thing and must be treated exactly the same way, because we need to do some differentiation. Because we can tell. So the other children can be nicely, you know, trained. Yeah. So
okay.
If, for example, I mean, when a second child is born, all the parents will try and train the older one, you know, touch gently and all that, right? Correct?
Yep.
So it can be done. Let me see. Alternative, you can do this, Rachel, whether or not you like him to bring something from the home.
Okay.
From home, yeah. So usually, have you all seen Peanuts and Snoopy? You know the old cartoon? You remember Linus and his yellow blanket? That's it. It's a security for them. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Questions? Comments?
Yeah, don't forget to write in the topics that you will be interested in for TCF to organize.
Teo Elvon, you've raised your hand.
Yes. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What is your suggestion about an autistic boy, which is non-verbal? How do I let him express himself the best way?
How old is the child?
6.
Okay. This is called the picture exchange communication system. Okay. So what happens is that the children are taught, what is to communicate using the cards. Yep. And then this is their board. This board has a Velcro here. And then whatever it is that they want, they will put it in on the Velcro. For example, you got this one. I want, these are the toys, right? So you can have one card for toys. So I want, so they pull out, say for example, they want to play with the trampoline. They pull out this card and stick it here on top. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a picture of a child. We also use this to teach them. But so this is the picture exchange communication system. You can also do this. The cards are actually put together on a ring, so you can just flip. Right, then let me show you something else. This is the AAC communication board, AAC devices. So there are all these pictures here, okay? So you can carry it around, and some of them can actually, you can actually upload. There's some programs you can upload on your phone. Okay. AAC means augmentative and alternative communication. It means all the ways that someone can communicate beside talking. People of all ages can use AAC if they have trouble with speech and language skills. Okay, so you can go and read up. I do know that there is nowadays software, like I said, available. And the handphone will be useful because the handphone will be with the child, you see. Okay. Okay, has that been helpful?
Yes, thank you very much.
You all don't know this because you are not special needs trained. Correct? But then I can tell you, we are seeing the number of children in kindergarten with special needs increasing. And actually, in the end, all of us need to do some special needs training. Yep. Other queries, comments?
Yeah, I would like to ask, I teach online class for my church ministry in English, and I have this boy who because of his restlessness, he will keep making funny faces like funny faces on the screen. I have been I'm not commented anything because I don't want to highlight the behavior. So I have been not commenting at all. Is there any advice you can give on how to deal with it?
How old is the child?
10 years old.
The child is 10 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
Going to school?
Yes.
Does he do the same thing online with his school?
I'm not sure. I think the school, they don't emphasize so much on the video camera on, but I emphasize it, so they have to on the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference. If not, you don't even know. You don't even know whether they're there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 10 years old. But you can just check with the mother whether there has been complaints from school teachers that he's been drawing on the screen. Okay. Next is this. Firstly, Siu Siu.
Yes.
Is it possible for you to off the blackboard or the what?
Oh no,
Disable.
because I don't do the blackboard. He's just doing the funny face on like like I do like that funny face and that kind of thing, and then he will put the filter and then he'll put funny faces on his face, So
he's playing with the filter.
Filter or he makes himself like funny faces on the camera, like now, so like if I'm not sharing screen to show the interactive book, then and we have the screen for the whole class, and then he will be like, if he's restless, he will do that but he don't do that all the time. So I actually ignore his behavior. I mean, so far I have been ignoring his behavior.
All right. Does it affect the other students? Do they get irritated and tell him to stop?
So far, no.
So if the other students don't seem to be affected, you can leave it. It increases, then you have to do something. Okay. So what is or you may want to do take action now. So what you are teaching them what? Bible lessons or English?
English. I only have 8 students in my class, so it's a small class. So generally the rest of the students are they do pay attention. He does pay attention, but his attention is very short, so he gets off very quickly. Yeah, so you always have to keep calling his name to come back to class, that kind of thing.
What you could actually do is you tell him, okay, you can what about asking him to open up Paint or PowerPoint, and you tell him, okay, So it means
Lost
you are
your
giving.
connection.
So you are giving a purpose to his drawing. You are asking him to draw, and then afterwards you're going to make a story. That means you are giving him permission to draw, but all right, you put a boundary around it. So if you want to draw a funny face, okay, so you can ask him, who is this boy? Is it a boy or a girl? What is the name? Okay, what kind of expression is this? Okay, why that expression? Then you may have your story whereby in the morning, okay, Jack had his breakfast, okay, then he sat in front of the TV and, okay, he was smiling. Why is he smiling? He found the cartoon very funny. You know what I mean? That may help.
Okay. Thank you.
So that means you are getting him to actually participate in the class in a slightly different way. Okay, so that's one picture. Alternatively, if he could do, a comic strip, a few pictures, then he explained. Okay, now he will need to do the picture not on Zoom, on his own whatever software he wants to use. That may help. And all right. If not, you just contact me. Sometimes this one is what do you call that? We have to try it out.
Yep.
And then on top of that, now it's online. You see, that's a problem. If not, I've got lots of ideas for, face to face. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
I like Fiona who's no. I just saw the. Anyone else? Joanna Chu. There's a 5-year-old boy every morning telling, I don't want to go to school. Okay. Joanna, when did he start going to your kindergarten? Then Yenna Liang, 4-year-old, still wearing diaper, refuses to be toilet trained in school. Whatever I try to toilet train him, he will cry and scream. What can I do? Okay, wait. Where is sorry? Okay, Joanne, the child has been in your kindergarten since he was 4 years old. That means since last year. Since last year, is it? If it's since last year, then he didn't go to school very much. Okay. Now, children, some children not going to school because home life is so comfortable. Food is served, drinks are served. I can watch TV for as long as I like, and Kakak must listen to me. So I don't go to school. Because in school, there's a teachers who tell me, and I don't want to do it. Okay. So if that's the reason they're not coming because school is too comfortable, home is too comfortable, you need to talk to the parents. So what the parents need to do is no cartoon, no TV, no computer when you stay home. But if you go to kindergarten, you come back, you have TV. Then you're going to tell the parents, the child will scream and yell, never mind. Screaming never killed anybody. Okay? So it's okay for children to scream, that's because that's their way of letting their, venting their feelings. Some of us also get too irritated when we do that. We make sounds, okay? All right. So make the house less comfortable. Number two, what I have noticed also, and it's a little bit more worrying, is the child doesn't want to go to kindergarten because something has happened in the kindergarten. Maybe there was a teacher that beat him, so doesn't want to come. Okay, so that is also a problem. So check and see whether the child, you can see the child that doesn't is scared of a teacher or doesn't like a particular teacher. Okay, so if there is, then make sure that teacher doesn't have anything to do with the child. Even the teacher, even if that person is a teacher on duty, all right, you as the class teacher will take this child out. Okay, so that he doesn't get scared off from school because of that teacher. Then another thing is very important that can be done at the same time is make it fun to come to class. Okay, so you can the child to be a little helper. Every morning when he comes on, okay, I take to the class and ask him, to set out these toys for the children, put the books, arrange the books, whatever it is. So the child feels what? Happy. And then after that, you praise. Thank you so much. Okay, Mary. All right. You did such a good job arranging the books. Mary feel happy, Lord? Okay. Another thing you can do is work with the parents. Every day, dia datang, you get 1 star. Okay. So at the end of the week, if 1 star, okay, maybe you can get ice cream or what. You all have to decide. Can?
Hi, Datin. I have one last question, if you permit, because time is already run out. Yeah. Okay. My name is Denise. I combine my 5 and 6 years old in one class because they are not many. Total is only like 12 of them in one class. So normally what we practice or what we adopt will be, we will have a group time, let's say English. So we have a group time together with the 5 and 6. So we have singing, we have some singing, some revision of what we have learned in the past. And then teacher will to take a rotational teaching basis. Let's say because they are all in a different level, I will say even though they are all in the same class, some of them will be far advanced, some slower, some moderate. So in order to meet the individual needs, we will practice the rotational teaching basis, meaning teacher will teach in a smaller group, 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. The rest will go to the learning centers, learning corners, so they will either play or do something else. But I wonder, is there any other better practices that Datin can advise for me? Because I find that it's quite a challenging for teachers sometimes. Sometimes they are really good, they can play very well while teachers is teaching. And sometimes because they will tend to raise up their voice because they got excited. And then when teachers is teaching that particular child, the child eyes start wandering.
Wandering around,
they're wandering around. So I just wonder whether, Datin, you have better advice or idea for me or not. Thank you.
Okay. I am concerned about your 6-year-olds because you have to be able to finish the K2 syllabus to prepare them to enter year 1.
Yes.
Okay, so number 1, that's what I'm worried about. Yep. So somehow you need to split the children up to year 5 or year 6 and finish the year 6 syllabus. Okay. The situation about children of different levels, that is happening a lot. Okay, so what happens, just to let you know that in England, Year 1 to year 6, the children are all mixed ability classes. So class 4A, 5A, 6A, no, 4A, 4B, that kind of thing. So they're all together, they're mixed. But when they're in secondary school, starting from Form 1, for 3 subjects, the children are, what do you call that? What's the word? Categorized according to their ability. So all the students good in year 7 or Form 1 maths will go into year 7 maths A. Right? Year 7 maths B, yet C, yet D. What normally happens in D is very interesting. Here we don't care. We push the child up to Form 1, from Form 1 to Form 2, whether they pass or fail, we don't care. So then what happens is you get people who fail the whole SPM and on top of that, supposedly been in school for 11 years, cannot read and write and count properly. So what happens is that the D class, okay, you will have a teacher in there who will be teaching them primary level maths. Why? They cannot do secondary school maths if their primary maths is not there, the foundation. So in your case, also one more thing. Then for all the other subjects, in secondary, geography, history, yeah, PE and all that, the children, okay, or rather we teachers are expected to prepare 2 levels of worksheet when we go to secondary class. HA is high ability, LA is low ability. So let me give you an example. So I also taught geography in UK. So just say we did tectonic plates and volcanoes. So the worksheet for the A class will be, I put a line drawing of a volcano, okay, and then lines or arrows, and then they are supposed to name all the different parts of the volcano. Okay. Now, for my low ability students in the same classroom, I have the same line drawing of the volcano. Okay. But at the bottom, I have a word bank. All the words are at the bottom. So they just choose from there and fill in. If I have special needs children, I will have the same outline of the volcano. Okay, I will have the word bank and something else. Every line, okay, so this is pointing to lava. Okay, so on this side, I'll put L, then dash, dash, dash.
Yeah.
Like kindergarten.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so so what you will actually need to do is you need to do differentiated learning.
Yes.
To make sure that the children, all right, can catch up. Now, we all know, especially, okay, for secondary school children, all right, if throughout primary school, no one has actually taken an interest in their studies, they are very weak when they get to secondary school. All right. And so, this is what UK did. For, again, the 3 subjects, English, Math, and Science, when they take their GCSE exam, their SPM, for each subject, there are 2 sets of paper. One is the high ability paper, and one is the lower ability paper. The higher ability, if you are good, you get the highest you can score is A star. The lower ability paper is designed in such a way that the child does it and all right, is able to answer, he will get grade C. What it means is, if mathematics, just say that there are 20 chapters, the higher ability student will study and take exam on all the 20 chapters. The low ability paper, or what we call the core or foundation paper for math, will only focus on the first 14 chapters.
I see.
So then they get a C. But then the thing is this, with a C, they can still go to college and go to work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of D. So less to study, but all the most important. Okay, so Denise, what I'm trying to say is this. And for all teachers, it is imperative that all students must get a minimum of C. That means they got the foundation. Okay, and actually for special needs students to be able to get a C, for most of them is fantastic already. Okay, so will you try and push the child for an A? From C jump to A. For special needs children and some other children who are a bit slow cannot. So you are working to the C. Can you understand? They're the better ones to push up to A. So what you need to do, Denise, now is you've got to go and look at your children. Will everybody get a minimum C? Okay? Everybody can get a minimum C. Then you try, okay, for this group, I want to see what I can do to help them to move up to B. Now, the other special needs children and all that who got D, okay, E, you need to figure out how to move them to C. You don't stress yourself out by trying to figure out how to move D and E up to A.
Yeah. I always remind my teacher to teach according to the children learning pace. Yeah. So thank God our group is not big, just 12 of them. So teachers have the chance to attend to their personal needs. So that's why I always encourage teachers, even though we are teaching same topic, but they have to do extra work, meaning in the same class, you have 2 sets of worksheet, maybe one for the more, like you say, the LA, and one is for the, what A is that? HA. Yeah,
high ability and low ability.
HA and LA. So that's why teachers have to work on the worksheets according to their learning pace. So what I'm concerned is the classroom management, since we are on this topic. So to make the classroom more effective, and of course children will engage themselves in the learning corner, but sometimes they just get out of it, they're over excited, they play and then they start to run. So with today's sharing from Datin is really a good reminder that we have to use the positive reinforcement. Yeah, that would be very good. So I just hope that we all of us can always remind each and every one of us. Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing.
You're welcome. Denise, if you want to cut down of the children just running around on their own and then you're shouting at them, okay, like I said, every 15-20 minutes there is a song or some other activity. Because it gets the energy.
Yeah, but it's also depending on the teachers that will conduct the class.
No, you need to insist. You tell them to write the lesson plan, and inside the lesson plan you want to see 3 kinesthetic activities.
Actually, to be honest, if we conduct an online, to conduct a brain break activity in the middle is easier than the physical class. I don't know whether...
Yeah, I know, yes.
But that would be a very good idea. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that is what we have time for. Maybe the next round, we can have a dialogue session on problem solving, that teachers can come with all the problems to Datin and have all the advice and all the strategies, yeah?
Oh yeah, teachers, what if I have a 1 hour session, 1.5 hour sessions, once every month or every 2 months, and you can come and ask questions. Will that be useful? Put up your fingers, huh? Yes.
Me?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, I see some fingers coming up. Okay, very good.
So I think with all that, we want to thank Datin very much for her valuable time and all her advices. Okay, so we continue to keep in touch, and everybody say thank you to Datin and show your appreciation. You can switch.
Thank you, Datin.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Datin.
Right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Miss Evelyn.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for caring for your students so much that you've come for the talk.
When they hear of Datin Indranee, they will not miss it.
Oh, yeah, because I got a lot of stories. Okay, take care.
All the participants will have put down your name and email for your certificate, and also download the PowerPoint from Datin and all the other links that she has given in the chat box. Please see to that before we end the session.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you all very much for coming, and hope to see you again at the next session. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you,
Alright.
Datin.
Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.